Urgent, Raiders fan! Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Raiders rumors: Las Vegas urged to draft Georgia star to be like Eagles. Could the Raiders draft a Georgia defender in the first round? The Las Vegas Raiders have the number 6 pick in the NFL draft, and no one has an idea of what player they have at the top of their board. The Raiders could go with any position, and it could make sense, but a defensive player would probably be the best move for them. In a recent mock draft, the Raiders are selecting a defender from Georgia who was a big part of their team last season. I know there's a lot of speculation that Vegas will take Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty, but Walker, the 2024 Butkus Award winner, as the nation's top linebacker, is too tempting to miss out on. His production, explosiveness, and character have UGA and opposing coaches gushing. If the Raiders aspire to be like the Philadelphia Eagles, getting a game-wrecking defender from Georgia is a good place to start, according to The Athletic's Bruce Feldman. The Eagles have a thing for drafting Georgia players, and it's worked out very well for them. If the Raiders have the chance to get a game-changer like Walker, they should hop on the opportunity, especially considering the numbers that he put up last season. At 6'1", 243 with 32-inch arms, Walker doesn't have great length, but he was a dominant player who shined in big games for the Dogs, Feldman wrote. In 2 meetings last fall against Texas, which had legit offensive line prospects, Walker had 4 sacks and 6 TFLs. In the SEC title game in 2023, he had 2 sacks against Alabama. He can be a playmaker as an off-the-ball linebacker or harass QBs on third downs as an edge rusher. Who could the Raiders draft with the number 6 pick in the NFL draft? The Raiders could go with someone like Walker in the draft, but it wouldn't be a surprise if they went with an offensive player, though they already have their starting quarterback in Geno Smith. Drafting a rookie like Shedeur Sanders could be on the table if he's still available. Another player that makes sense for the Raiders is Travis Hunter, who wants to play both cornerback and wide receiver in the NFL, but a team will most likely keep him at one position. The Raiders have high aspirations after a disappointing year last season, and with some of the moves they've made from the coaching staff to the players, it's obvious that they're trying to win and be competitive. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Raider Nation news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. J.K. Dobbins free agent pitch lands. Ascending playmaker on new-look AFC Squad J, K. Dobbins is one of the top remaining players on the free agency market, as the veteran running back had a breakout 2024 campaign with the Los Angeles Chargers and should receive an opportunity to compete for a starting position in 2025. There are still a few teams that could look to address their need at running. Backed by signing Dobbins, and Pro Football Network's Kyle Sopp believes the Las Vegas Raiders could be a potential suitor for the breakout playmaker. The Las Vegas Raiders signed Raheem Mostert, and he joins Dobbins on the list of "I like what I see in spurts, but wouldn't want to hand him the ball 15 times for 4 months" running backs. Some will say that if you have 2 partial pieces at a position, you have none, but NFL teams are more willing now than ever to commit on a 2-back system, and the Raiders could pencil that in for a season while they try to determine their franchise's direction, Soppa wrote. Las Vegas already signed Raheem Mostert this offseason, but the 32-year-old had a horrific 2024 campaign and can't be relied upon to carry the load for 17 games due to his injury history. Like Mostert, Dobbins has had trouble staying healthy throughout his career, but the 26-year-old looked more dynamic than ever in 2024, rushing for a career-high 905 yards on 4, 6 yards per carry, and 9 touchdowns. He also added 32 receptions for 153 yards through the air. The Raiders should look to sign Dobbins, as the former Ohio State Buckeye would be an upgrade over Mostert and bring some toughness to Chip Kelly's offense. Additionally, the former Day 2 pick won't be expensive to sign, as SpotRack projects Dobbins will land a 2-year deal worth $1 million on the open market, which averages to around $4 million per season. Las Vegas must have a reliable ground game. In order to compete for a playoff spot in 2025, the franchise still has a good amount of cap space left, and their next move in free agency should be signing J.K. Dobbins to a team-friendly contract. Raiders get concerning leak about Geno Smith's contract situation. Geno Smith is a Las Vegas Raider, but it's still unclear how long that will last. When the team traded for the quarterback from the Seattle Seahawks, there was no agreement on a new contract in place. He's not been a Raider for nearly a month and still hasn't even had an introductory press conference. Smith has just 1 year remaining on his contract and doesn't seem eager to play on an expiring deal. While it still seems likely that the quarterback will get a contract extension, he may be willing to hold out and refuse to play for the Raiders until that happens, according to The Athletic's Tashan Reed. Smith is in the final year of a 3-year contract he signed with the Seattle Seahawks in 2023, Reed wrote in a March 31 column. Although he was paid a $16 million roster bonus on March 16th, none of his $14.8 million salary for 2025 is guaranteed. It's unlikely that Smith would play without a new deal, according to league sources. A new quarterback holding out before ever playing a snap for the team could be a big problem for the Raiders. That wouldn't be setting them up for success heading into the 2025 season. It's hard to see a scenario where it actually comes to that. Pete Carroll, John Spytek talk Smith. What will help Smith is that head coach Pete Carroll worked with him for years in Seattle and is a big supporter of the quarterback. He said that the two sides are still working on getting a deal done. We're working on it, Carroll told reporters Monday of Smith's contract at the annual league meeting. G's excited to get going and get started. He'll be here when we get rolling, but we are working on it. Carroll was also speaking like Smith will be the quarterback for years to come. Geno is an immediate fix for us, and it's going to last us, Carroll said. We're going to get a number of years from Geno at his very best. He's healthy and ready to go. He's as tuned in as he's ever been, but that doesn't mean that we don't see some guys coming out with tremendous potential. We're not excluding taking anybody. General Manager John Spytek had similar comments about the contract situation. We're looking forward to having him for not just this year, but for the years to come, Spytek said Monday. When we get everything where it needs to be, he'll be around. I'm confident that'll happen fairly soon. Smith may not be the quarterback for the next decade, but it stands to reason that the Raiders would want him to be the starter for at least the next 2 to 3 years. Raiders could still draft a QB while Smith is almost certainly going to be the starter for the Raiders in 2025. They haven't ruled out drafting a quarterback early, per Reed. Despite trading for Smith, the Raiders remain open to drafting a quarterback as early as the first round of the 2025 draft, according to league sources, Reed wrote. If Smith gets a new contract before the draft, it's highly unlikely they'd use their first-round pick on a quarterback, but things could get interesting if the two sides haven't come to an agreement come draft time. And now, Raiders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Raiders. I'll be back any moment with more Raider Nation news.